I think it's as complex as it may sound. It is actually a very strong case to use to explain this. Because when you think of football, I used to play football a bit when I was younger. When you think of football, football is a combination of talent and also training as well. So, and you can look at training from the perspective of you being able to take a raw talent and train it up, add more tools to it. You know, you have the right boat, you train regularly, you have access to the insights that you need to be able to improve yourself. That's what gets you to where you need to be. I think what you've described there is actually an indication that Africa's challenge is not talent. We do have this talent en masse. I think our biggest challenge is that these talents don't have access to the resources that they need to actually take their talent and turn the talent into, you know, valuable outcomes that we can benefit from, which is what you get in football. And football, that's the case. You see, African football is all over the world, right? African teams are, you know, they're great, but at the same time, when we compete at the international level, we find it really difficult to get to the very top, which is where we belong. And most of the time it's because the resources has not been made ubiquitous enough for people, regardless of where they find themselves on the continent, to be able to train their skills to the point where they can be the best professional. I think that's the same case for connectivity. I think when people talk about, we all want to see a prosperous Africa. We want to see an Africa that growth becomes something that we see and celebrate all the time. But we then also have a situation where the world we live in today, growth can only be achieved through the application of modern technologies, in which connectivity is a major part of it. I used to tell people that 10, 15 years ago, telecommunication services were just any other sector. But today it's the backbone for development. There's absolutely, you can't deliver quality healthcare without connectivity. You can't deliver quality education without connectivity. There's no commerce without connectivity. There's really no good transportation without connectivity. You know, the one that I find really even exciting, there's no mining without connectivity. The best mines in the world now are now connected. You can't secure a nation without connectivity. And that's where the case, the analogy you were using, which is we don't have a choice. We can't leave anyone behind. We must include all of our talent, regardless of where they find themselves, whether they're in Samfara, which is in the far north in my country, or they're in Lagos. People, regardless of their location, should have access to meaningful connectivity, because that's the only way we can leverage their talents to help us truly develop our continent.